The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Justice Department indicts 7 members of the Tau Gamma Phi fraternity for the alleged death by hazing of John Matthew Salilig. State prosecutors found probable cause to charge these fratmen from Adamson University: Earl Romero, Tung Cheng Teng Jr., Jerome Ochoco Balot, Sandro Victorino, Michael Ricalde, Mark Muñoz Pedrosa, and Danielle Perry. They will be facing raps for violating the anti-hazing law of 2018. The DOJ will also be filing 2 separate criminal information against the suspects for violation of the act prohibiting violent initiation rights. In other news, a suspect linked alongside Congressman Arnie Teves in a string of murders in Negros Oriental back in 2019 has spoken up. Mobile journalist Bel Gregorio has the full story.
Lies and only for revenge. That's the defense of Jasper Tanasan, also known as Bobong Tanasan. Following the murder case filed against him, Congressman Arnie Teves and 2 others related to the killings in Negros Oriental in 2019. In an exclusive interview with News 5, Tanasan questioned how can he be part of the crime if he was already in jail during that time.
Hindi ko alam na may kaso ako. Transparent ako sa lugar namin sa Hinubaan, Negros Occidental. Hindi ako nagtatago, naghahanap ako ng kasama, hanap buhay kasama pamilya ko. Nagtrabaho ako doon sa LGU, Hinubaan.
Tanasan was imprisoned in 2012 after being caught with illegal firearms and explosives in his house. He was acquitted in December 2019, 9 months after the killing of former NBI agent and former Negros Oriental board member Miguel Dungog and 2 others. Dungog was killed after being shot by riding in tandem gunmen in Dumaguete City during the peak of his campaign for a seat in the Sangguniang Panlalawigan under the party of Governor Roel Degamo. Before being imprisoned, Tanasan was a close-in security of Congressman Teves, who was pointed out by witnesses as the mastermind of the crime. Tanasan insisted that the witness who is now testifying against him and Teves in the murder of Dungog was his enemy in prison. However, he did not reveal the identity of the said person.
Itong lahat is manufactured evidence. Hindi ito totoo. Kasi kung ako ay nakagawa ng kasalanan sa 2019, hindi na nila ako makikita dyan sa Hinubaan.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has granted the plea of Justice Secretary Boying Remulla for the transfer of the cases filed in the killings of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo and 8 other persons to the Manila Regional Trial Court. Criminal complaints for illegal possession of firearms and explosives, meanwhile, were filed against 6 individuals who were arrested when authorities raided properties owned by the lawmaker and his family last Friday. The PNP-CIDG said Teves' secretary and 3 other people face complaints for violation of the Comprehensive Firearms and Ammunition Regulation Act. 2 of those arrested allegedly violated both RA 10591 and RA 9516, or the law on illegal possession of explosives. Teves and his 2 sons were not around during the implementation of the search warrant in their house. Teves is still in the United States as his authority to travel to the country was only valid from February 28 to March 9. House Speaker Martin Romualdez revealed that Teves has gotten in touch with him and expressed fears for his and his family's safety, the reason why he refuses to return home at this time. Romualdez assured Teves of his safety while also reiterating his advice that the lawmaker needs to come back. Mobile journalist Bel Gregorio, we are One News.
And a survivor of the March 4 massacre that killed Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo and 8 others recounts the bloody assassination. Junito Bugas recalled seeing armed men enter the governor's compound and shooting everyone in sight. He said that the bloody crime is now permanently etched in his mind, leaving him traumatized.
Tinira kaagad yung gwardiya. Nakita ko talaga yung gwardiya na natumba. Tapos Ang sunod na putok papunta dito kay Gob. Yun namang isa umikot kasi yung gwardiya na sa taas binanata naman. Kami namang nakaupo, binanata naman kami nung isa, minamasakir na kami. So nakaupo kami marami, sumigaw ako na dapa, kung hapa sa Bisaya, hapa, dapa. Kaya ako ay gumapang sa likod, meron doong bangin, nahulog kami doon, marami kami. So nung narinig ko na lang yung putukan, iyakan, binigyan ako ng gamot ni Dr. Alim para pakalma, pero talagang hindi yun mawala sa isipin ko. Nag-iinom na lang po ako ng hard at saka medyo ang kain ko ngayon ay medyo hindi yung kain na natural, madali lang, mga 3 kutsara lang. Nag-inom talaga ako para makatulog lang ako, pero in every 3 o'clock in the morning maano na yung pagkainom ko, nawala na yung salasing ko, malaala ko naman yun.
And attorney Ferdinand Topacio says that the allegations that firearms were found in his client's house is, quote, ridiculous. In an interview with the Chiefs, Topacio says that it is illogical that Congressman Arnie Teves would keep a stash of firearms in his properties. The lawyer added that common sense dictates the removal, destruction, or even surrender of these weapons, as Teves supposedly knows that he is being watched. Police earlier raided some of Teves's properties in Negros Oriental, where they found firearms, including grenades and guns.
Here, the raiding team found grenades in a laundry basket. They found long firearms just resting alongside the wall of the house. These are all illogical and highly incredible. I mean, ikaw ba naman, alam mo, i-raid ka, pinag-iinitan ka. Hindi mo ba itatago o itatapon yung mga armas mo? The sheer volume of the firearms supposedly found, including explosives, is ridiculous actually.
More stories still to come after this quick break. Stay with us here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Philippine Coast Guard is looking into the alleged lapses with the inspection of the sunken oil tanker off the coast of Oriental Mindoro. The Maritime Industry Authority, or Marina, revealed that MT Princess Empress had no authority to operate as the owner's request to amend its Certificate of Public Convenience to include the newly acquired tanker is still pending approval. In its defense, the Coast Guard said that it relied on a document submitted by the owners when the vessel was first inspected. In other news, the family of Percy Mabasa, also known as Percy Lapid, welcomed the indictment of suspended corrections chief Gerald Bantag for the broadcaster's murder. The Mabasa family lawyer, Danny Pelahio, calls it one step closer to justice. Yesterday, the Justice Department found probable cause to charge Bantag, his former deputy Ricardo Zulueta, and several others for the killing of Lapid and alleged middleman June Villamor. Coincidentally, the indictments were announced on what would have been Lapid's 64th birthday.
The warrant of arrest should be forthcoming because After the resolution, the information charging the accused, including General Bantagan, Sulveta, and the rest, 2 counts of murder, will follow together with the court order for the arrest of this accused. The crime of killing Percy Lapid was done in Las Piñas, so the case should be filed in Las Piñas, while that of Villamor in Muntinlupa having been consummated in New Philippine prisons.
Meanwhile, Attorney Pelayo also revealed that members of the Mabasa family are still receiving death threats 5 months after the slay of Percy Lapid.
Meron pa rin ngayon, di natin mawawala yan. So they are still very cautious. There were offers to provide them security, government security, but these offers were politely turned down, and they decided to avail of some security services elsewhere.
And here is a quick look at today's other top stories. Malacanang has announced April 6 and 7 as regular holidays in observance of the Holy Week. April 10 was also declared a regular holiday to commemorate the Day of Valor or Araw ng Kagitingan. The usual April 9 celebration falls on Easter Sunday this year, prompting Malacanang to move it to the nearest weekday. The government is planning to begin the construction of the 175 billion peso Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge this year. Public Works Secretary Manuel Bonoan said that the project will create direct access between the northern and southern parts of Metro Manila. The 32-kilometer cable-stayed bridge across the Manila Bay is expected to cut travel time from the metro to Bataan from 3 hours to just less than 1 hour. The World Health Organization is sounding the alarm over the exodus of healthcare workers in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. The WHO found that some 55 countries are losing their doctors, nurses, and other health practitioners to international migration, causing gaps in medical manpower. One News Now will be back at 5:30 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.